Hi everyone, Winslow Dixon here, and we just wanted to make this video today to showcase how you can overcome obstacles with chronic illness. I'm here with my friend Jerry. He suffers with medullary sponge kidney just like I do, so I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Jerry. I don't have MSK. I just pass hundreds and hundreds of kidney stones a year. Um, yeah, that's me. I'm Jerry.
I thought you did have MSK. I am
No,
uninformed. That's okay. I know I met you on the medullary sponge kidney site, so I guess that's
it's
enough.
it's one of those diagnoses that they throw around, and I actually had to last year order an IVP with contrast, which they won't do anymore. But anyway, long story, not important.
Well, like I said, today we're going to talk about just overcoming obstacles. And as Jerry said, he passes chronic kidney stones just like I do. And if you've ever had a kidney stone, it's a very painful thing and it's not very fun and it can definitely impact your life. So, Jerry has an interesting story about how his illness and his disease changed his life. So, I'm going to let him talk about that.
Well, I always identified myself as a dumb hard worker. That's what I introduced myself to my wife as almost 18 years ago. Started working at a very young age. Got sick around 30, fought through it, subscribed to the doctor, modern Western medicine regimen of potassium citrate, HTCZ, all these fun things, pain pills. But I stopped working a little bit over a year and a half ago. I still work, just not full time. And I produce and process my own cannabis medicine, pills, flower, bong, whatever. I don't subscribe to Western modern medicine anymore. I'm a big fan of 10,000-year-old Chinese alchemy. Yeah.
So Jerry took control of his own life and his own health. I know that with some illnesses there are alternatives, and Jerry certainly found his own with the cannabis, and his modern medicine is his own medicine. So I think that's pretty neat. Um, I know that there are a lot of times where our diagnoses can change us, and there are some things that we just really can't take control of. With my own illness, I do have medullary sponge kidney, and I've had that since birth. It's a congenital disorder. So I started having kidney stones very young, and it was very painful and very physically taxing. I also have endometriosis, so I had a lot of pain throughout my younger years, and it is my belief that because it taxed my body so much, I developed an endocrine disorder called Addison's disease, which is full adrenal failure. Um, Basically, I think my body just had to produce so much cortisol and so much, of the stress hormone that it burned itself out because I was so young. Nobody believed that I was in pain and nobody wanted to give me any pain relief. And like Jerry talked about, modern medicine sometimes is kind of a catch all where you just, try to, you don't necessarily know how to treat somebody. Not every doctor has every answer. And once you get labeled something in the system, unfortunately, sometimes it's very hard to undo that label. If you're labeled as a drug seeker or something like that, it's kind of hard to overcome that once it's in your chart. And I do believe that's what happened to me. Fast forward a few years, I was finally diagnosed with medullary sponge kidney by the Cleveland Clinic, which I would highly recommend to anyone. And they tried to figure out the source of the kidney stones, and I was sent to physical therapy and pain management, and basically took control of my own disease. I know, like just like Jerry, sometimes that you can't fully rely on what the modern medicine is giving you. I truly believe that sometimes it does take a combination, especially with my other disease, Addison's. You have to have steroids, which is a pharmaceutical, but there are also some natural things that I have done to try to manage both of the illnesses, both the medullary sponge kidney and the Addison's. The endometriosis is going to be taken care of by surgery. I'm about to have my fourth endometrial surgery, but I do think it takes a combination of the two. So I'm going to hand it back to Jerry and let him kind of talk about the rest of his story.
Yeah, I'm gonna bash modern medicine because I don't consider it that modern. I mean, the single greatest invention when it comes to modern medicine was what let us win the war, World War II, I believe. It was penicillin. I mean, basic. They invented over there. We were able to make it. Um, it could have been the atom bomb, stoner thoughts. Anyway, they don't do anything. It hasn't progressed past 1930. They just now are starting to put information technology and medicine together with things like IBM's Watson. Um, the answer for years and years and years has been the poppy flower, morphine, opiate, any opioid has always been the answer. Look at the crisis that we're in right now. Luckily, I told them to F off. They continually try to put me on a pain contract. It's stupid. I won't do it. It's before all this started happening, I told them to F off. Took control of my own body back from them because all they want to do is prescribe you medicine, pass you around, and they really don't give you any answers. Once you get sick, is I think hopefully most of you, or hopefully I guess most of you watching would be there, but for those of us that are here and sick and it's changed our lives, we realize that doctors are stupid. They don't know anything. They don't have the answers. You talk to 5 different doctors, you're going to get 5 different diagnoses. It's just, that's sad and pathetic. It's 2017. We should have moon bases. I'm sitting here talking to you over the internet, but in my garage, I'm making 5,000-year-old, 10,000-year-old Chinese alchemy, Chinese medicine that works way better, safer, can't kill you, can't kill you. Okay? Why weren't we doing this years and years and years ago? You can go through the whole, are you for marijuana? Are you anti-marijuana? I don't care. I don't want to talk about THC and CBD. What I want to talk about is taking responsibility for your own life, holding yourself accountable. Are you going to sign a pain contract and say, I'm going to take these 4 pills a day at these 4 times a day for the next 4 years, and maybe they'll up a dosage? And no, no. Why? You're existing between pain cycles. You're existing between moments of actual clarity in life. It's pointless to exist that way. So many of us introduce ourselves as, hi, I'm Jerry Cepican. I have this and this. I don't care about that. I'm Jerry Cepican. I'm a father first, husband second. At this point in my life, I'm a medicine man. I mean, I make my own medicine. I deal with it myself. And I don't care whether you are pro-pot or anti-pot. I don't care. I'm anti-control. I'm anti-death. And I'm pro-life. So that's that. That's my rant. Fuck the modern medical community. They haven't helped me one bit. This started in 1989, which was a bit before you were born, Winslow, I believe. It's been a long time, and they've given me no answers, no help. Luckily, I passed mine up to 8.5 millimeter. I passed naturally. I do take some modern medicine. I believe in Flomax because it's nothing more, nothing less than a non-skeletal muscle relaxer. I don't believe in a lot of the other things, but it doesn't matter. You might not believe in pot. You might think pot's the devil. I'm here to tell you that I can take someone who is on, let's use some actual numbers that some of y'all might like. I can take someone who takes upwards of 200 MME, that's morphine milligrams equivalency per day. I can knock them out for 4 days with a cookie grown from a flower that I grow myself. Can't kill anybody with it. I can knock you out. I could probably perform surgery on you. You wouldn't wake up, depending on what kind of witch's brew I made together or put together, but I'm stoned. It doesn't matter. This is how I exist. At least I'm awake, right? Back to you, Winslow.
I definitely agree with the point that you do have to take control of your life. Everybody is different and everybody has to find their own way. But the thing that modern medicine takes away is that it puts everybody into a cookie cutter mold. And if you have this disease, this is the treatment and this is what you do. And it just doesn't work for everyone because we all come from different genetic backgrounds and we all have different pain tolerances, and no disease is the same in every person. I think, personally, that's why so many of the rates of disease have increased, because we are just treating everybody with the same textbook things. And there are so many things that are quote unquote blackballed that help people. I know that there's a lot of things that they did 50 years ago that they no longer do, and vice versa. I mean, I think that the control has truly been taken away from the patient. because everybody's so afraid of FDA this and FDA that. Especially, you know, with me, and I'll give you an example. I'm currently trying to get on the cortisol pump. Everybody who has Addison's disease will tell you that when you take the synthetic pill form of hydrocortisone, which is cortisol, or prednisone or anything like that, it's a steroid. It has horrific side effects. Weight gain, nausea, you know, muscle pain, like it's when you have a synthetic replacement of something, it's not going to be the same as your body makes, and you're constantly trying to fight the highs and lows of what your body would do naturally. I'm trying to get on a cortisol pump, which is a diabetic pump that it is instead filled with insulin. It is filled with Solu-Cortef, which is the liquid version of cortisol. And I have had at least 3 doctors back out of it because it's not FDA approved. It's not illegal. It's not anything. It's a substance that they already sell. Solu-Cortef you can get at any pharmacy. You actually cannot die of a cortisol overdose. It can have side effects and things like that, but it's just an alternative that people are so afraid of the government coming after their licenses and, you know, insurance and stuff like that, that it puts people in a box. And some people have been on this treatment and it's changed their life, because instead of taking a pill form, it goes directly into your skin, and you don't have to go through the digestive system, and you can eliminate a lot of side effects and be actually on a lower dose. But because it's not FDA approved, it doesn't have the stamp of greedy pharma on it, we're having to fight. And I know people that have fought years and years and years to get on this treatment. And it's wrong because, like Jerry said, when you have your health taken away from you, it takes everything. It doesn't just take your health. It takes your strength. It takes your independence. It takes your money. It takes everything with it. And you lose total control. And these doctors don't understand that, because they wake up, put their white coat on, don't fight the pain, don't fight the same symptoms that you do. And so when you look at them and say, oh, I want something other than a pill, they don't know how to respond, because they don't know what it's like to have to struggle like you do or something like that. So I definitely agree with Jerry in the fact that you do have to take your own control. You have to open up your own mind to other things. You know, I'm not saying go out here and go crazy, but, you know, like Jerry did. He said, I don't want to be on Roxicodone for my whole life. I don't want to sign this pain contract and only be limited to this doctor with this medicine. I want to live my life. And so he went and in his own way found solutions for his life. And now he has a purpose, and he not only helps himself and makes his own medicine, but he also helps other people. And I think that's a beautiful thing, especially in chronic illness. So my advice and comments to anyone watching this is, you know, you have to take control. Don't let yourself think that control is taken from you. Yeah, you might not be able to drive, and you might not be able to work, and you might not have your own money, but you can still control you. You can control what goes in your body. You can control the way that you think, and you can control the people that you allow in your life. So don't ever give up control. So that's my statement on it. Jerry, did you have anything else before we close?
No, I mean, you want more on the control thing. I mean, that's what all these. If you sign up for any medicine, some like, you know, your steroid you have to take or your body won't work, period. I have a slew of narcotics that I take. But none of them, for me, I'm not in your same situation. Hopefully not many of us have had the severity of, you know, an impact on your system, on our systems like you have. But I mean, I'm in control of my life. There's no one that is saying, hey, you know, if some doctor decides he doesn't like me or something, I'm not going to worry about withdrawals. I'm not going to worry about how am I going to live my life, or how am I going to do this, or not how am I going to be able to go out and leave the house for more than 5 minutes at a time, you know? I mean, all these things that most people don't think of, I don't have any doctors controlling me. Now, cannabis doesn't work as well as an opioid for acute pain. If I break my arm, I would like a shot of morphine. But opioids or opiates work for about a week and then they stop working. You build up tolerances. They're toxic to your body. You know, it's all about control and you being in control and you not being controlled by other people, really is what it boils down to. I don't like to feel like I'm under a doctor's thumb, a government agency's thumb, you know, this, that, or the other. I'm not a fan of being told what to take, when to take it, or how to ingest it. As I tell my doctor, I'm going to take drugs when I want to take drugs, not when you tell me to take drugs. It's as simple as that. mean, really.
Exactly. Well, thank you for watching. Again, this was just our take on overcoming chronic illness. And if you're watching this and you feel like you have lost control, please don't feel that way, because there's always something that you can do. I know that life may be bleak sometimes, and there may be some moments where you do want to give up, but there are always options. And don't let yourself think that there's not. You haven't spoken to every person in the world. You haven't gone everywhere in the world. There's something you haven't heard of, and there's definitely always hope. So never lose hope. Again, my name is Winslow Dixon, and I was here with Jerry Cepican today. You can visit my website, winslowedixon.wordpress.com, or my ministry website, inspirethefire.wordpress.com. Thank you.